So today we're going to do a little bit of a dive into meditation. So we're going to briefly talk about the benefits of why to do it. I'm going to talk about my journey with meditation and how I got to where I'm at today and how you can apply it to your life and how it will help you, whether you're going through depression, sadness, feelings of regret, rejection, sobriety, addiction, whatever. Meditation is just a really good thing to do in general. But I'm actually going to start things a little differently this episode. I'm going to read the user comment. So a few weeks ago, I was posting, basically looking for video ideas, and I had a user comment, and that's why I'm making this video today. But I'm actually going to read her comment because there's a couple things I want to actually address before we go into our topic of like meditation as well. So I remember you saying about meditation being important in some of your videos. I'm quite interested in this to help with my depressed episodes and feelings of regret. Are you able to tell us about your process when it comes to meditation? What are your surroundings like, music or not? How do you do it, etc., etc.? Any tips you may have? I really love your channel, by the way. Thank you. I really love your channel, by the way. Although I can't relate with alcohol or male-related pressures, I have benefited from your positive thinking videos, and one thing you said helped me so much lately: tell yourself it's only temporary, because it is. And when it comes to depression, whether you can or cannot answer this, I'm so grateful for your videos. Thank you. Well, I'm grateful for your comment. I'm grateful you take time to watch these videos too. I won't say your name. I'll keep it a little bit anonymous, but I did want to address on two things. And it's because this is actually fresh in my mind, and I saw a video about this myself recently. So two things. Sounds like you've been dealing with some depression and regret. So first thing to know with depression is a season. I don't like when people say they have depression, because I don't truly believe, unless you're that 1.001% who's clinically diagnosed because your brain just doesn't make the chemicals. I truly believe depression is a season. It's not something you have. You do not have depression. You maybe experience depression. We all do, but it is a season. And after depressions, it's when things get better. Like depression, it sometimes just happens. And it's sometimes your body's way of telling you the way you're living your life right now is no longer serving you, and you become depressed. And maybe you need a new hobby or a new passion or a new journey to embark on. And because you're not living up to your higher potential, you tend to have these feelings of depression, or maybe life just isn't working out for you the way you want it to work out for you. And you have these feelings. And sometimes change is good and change will snap you out of it. But then sometimes the feelings just go away naturally, like a season. You got to get through fall and winter before the spring and the summer comes. But the good news with that is that it is temporary. It is just a season. The spring and the summer will always come, and then fall will come again, and then maybe more depression. But pain and sufferable is inevitable as part of the human condition. We are all going to experience it to some degree or fashion at some point in our lives. And that's not to make this like a depressing video or topic, because the good news is there's going to be plenty of good too. It's going to be a mix, guys, good and bad. And that's just life. And that's the game we play. And, enjoy the journey, appreciate the good times when they come, and then try not to associate and identify too much with the bad times when they do hit. But as far as regret goes, I do want to tell you this, like, whoever you are, we as humans always do the best we can with what we know in the given moment. With the exception of just like sociopaths, but I'm assuming you're not a sociopath. You're watching this channel, you're on the path of betterment and self-improvement. But guys, you are always, whoever you are, whatever you've done, whatever you might be regretting, the viewer or anybody else in the audience, whatever you did, there's nothing to regret, because in that moment, you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Now you have feelings of regret afterwards because you've learned, you've grown up, you're wiser, your mindsets have shifted, the way you understand the world has shifted. And now you have a lot of regret because you wish you had conducted yourself or did something different in a past situation or experience. And, I'm not above this too. I've had bouts of regret in my time, not much lately since I've kind of discovered this stuff. But the thing you have to know is that, hey, it's okay. Whatever happened, happened. I know you regret it, but the reality is you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat up the younger version of yourself who didn't know better, because she didn't know better. And if she did, you wouldn't have gone through the situation you regretted anyways. And that's just it, guys. We always wish we knew better in the past, but a lot of times we don't. And a lot of times we have to learn these things, these life things, the hard way by enduring some level of pain and discomfort. And that's when you grow, and that's when you change, and that's when you become a better person and version of yourself. But there's no room to beat up and hate the younger version of you who made the decision that you regret. Because if you knew better, you would have done better. And it's okay that you didn't know better, because you know better now. So I hope you find some peace with that as far as regret goes. So now we'll actually start talking about meditation. So guys, meditation. Why I do it. Now, I actually was in a mood today because I've been meditating probably 4 to 5 times a week, at least 20 to 40 minutes a session for the last 2.5 years. Now, I had first started meditating probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And, I couldn't even tell you why I started. I think I started for the reasons everybody starts, more mental clarity. Meditation increases the areas in your brain that are associated with happiness and well-being. Meditation slows down the aging process of your mind drastically. There's science to back this up. Meditation, sitting down, pausing, reflecting, that's a necessary step to healing your inner child, healing trauma, healing baggage, questioning and addressing your belief systems, why you have those belief systems. Do those belief systems still serve you? Do you want to incorporate new belief systems? Like, meditation is just a valuable way of training your brain to pause, giving yourself time to reflect and self-audit without distraction. Because let's face it, in today's society, it's you wake up, cell phone, scroll. Before you go to bed, cell phone, scroll. If you use social media, the effects of your mind just going left and right and up and down and side to side is magnified like tenfold. Part of the reason why I don't use social media, because I don't like being distracted. You go on social media, you see a video of cats, and now you're thinking about cats. Now you're thinking maybe you want a cat, and then you see a video of some hot chick, and then you're like, man, I need a hot chick. And then before you know it, you're not in control of your thoughts. You are going where the social media is taking you. What friends' posts you're seeing, what quotes you're seeing. Like, there's ways to rig it to where you just surround yourself with good content. But in general, it trains your brain to just be like this crazy horse without a saddle. You're wild. You're all over the place. You can't focus on anything. You can't be productive. You don't have clarity of what you really want. And you're not doing the necessary things that you want to do to achieve your dreams. So why meditation is valuable is it trains you to pause. It trains you to sit with yourself. It trains your muscle, because it is a muscle. You go to the gym, you work out your biceps. After a while, you have biceps. Same thing with meditation. When you meditate, it trains your ability to turn down the negative self-talk and to focus. So, sorry, I got a call there. Among other things, that was basically why I started meditating. And when I started actually getting consistent with meditation, it was actually because I was quitting drinking alcohol. And it was a turbulent road, but I knew enough of the health benefits of meditation and neuroplasticity and the ability to rewire and refire your mindset and belief systems. So that was a staple in my get sober routine. It was just plugged into my daily thing. So I will say this, the first time you start to meditate, it's going to be hard. Your thoughts are going to be all over the place, and that is normal. Do not beat yourself up for it. Now, as far as the meditations you can do, like, as time goes by, like, it's going to be very uncomfortable at first, but I will say this, 5 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of meditation is going to do way more for your life and your brain than 5 or 20 minutes on your phone. So yes, we all have the time to meditate, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Everything new that you try out is usually uncomfortable. You're not good at it. Your thoughts are going to be all over the place, and that's fine. So to start off, just set aside 5 minutes. There's plenty of apps you can use. You can try out like Headspace. My personal favorite place to go is just YouTube. Just YouTube search the meditations you can do. And just start there. Start with like these little 5-minute meditations. Set aside a little block of time, maybe before bed, maybe after your workout. And what you'll discover is as you do it, you'll experience and try and dabble with all the meditations you want. There's different kinds and versions. But that's how you can eventually find the one that works for you. And for me personally, I started with like those little apps. I did it for like 5 minutes. It was super hard. My thoughts were all over the place. It was the most uncomfortable thing ever to do, is just to sit still with my thoughts for 5 minutes. But then I got better at it. And then I got better at it. And I was still meditating while I was drinking, as counterproductive as that sounds. But once I quit the drinking, meditation was almost one of the things I did that would carry me. And the main thing I liked best about meditating, and why I did it almost every day, is because when I quit drinking alcohol, I was experiencing so many emotions. Some days I'd be frustrated. Some days I'd be sad. Some days I'd be anxious, depressed, lonely. You name it, I probably felt it. But here's the cool thing with meditating is there's a ton of guided meditations out there. So what I would do is, like, if I woke up one day and I was really sad and depressed, YouTube, meditation for sadness, and I'd do it and I would feel better. And then I'd wake up the next day and I'd be frustrated and angry. Then I'd do meditation for frustration and anger. And then maybe one day I'd wake up and I'd feel just down on myself because I'm single and I haven't met my wife yet. And, same thing, meditate, listen to the words. And there's a lot of great content out there. But as my meditation practice has progressed, I have gotten into more breath work, Wim Hof style meditation. And I've kind of come up with my own little routine that I do. And I'll usually do 20 minutes of Wim Hof breathing. So Wim Hof breathing is like deeply in, belly, chest, out. You do that 30, 40 times. And there's usually a breath hold where I will exhale all the air in my lungs and I will sit in absolute silence and not even breathe for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I've gone up to 5 minutes. It is a very surreal experience. What I found with the breathwork style of meditations is that it makes me feel this natural euphoric high that you get just from breathing. And those deep pauses of not breathing at all and sitting in absolute silence, just absolute blissful. Now, I have been meditating for like almost 3 years now, guys, and I'm not a monk yet. That's the thing, and you don't have to be. Like, people meditate and think they're going to get like Zen and be like a monk, and I might have those moments that last for like 2 or 3 minutes, but then back to reality. But that's not why you do it. I think a lot of the things I've noticed since I started doing this style of meditation is that, in a weird way, it's become a very healthy coping mechanism for me. If I have like a stressful day at work, or if I have a crazy emotion I'm wrestling with, I don't reach for the bottle anymore. I don't reach for any substance. I sit with it and I breathe it out. I meditate on it. I let the thoughts come up. I experience all the feelings and the emotions, and then I let them go. And it's very cathartic and it's very healing and relaxing. And same thing, like, the viewer said she was dealing with depression and regret. Those feelings will come up and you got to just sit with it, process it, feel it to heal it, and you will heal it. It's going to be a lot of feeling, but just feel it. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Let it come up, examine it, and then that's it. And then you let it go. Then you move on with your day, move on with your life. Meditation also trains you to be more present in the moment. You will find yourself randomly feeling euphoric and blissful. You will find yourself feeling more feelings of gratefulness and appreciation. That doesn't mean you don't have bad days, because I sure as hell still do have bad days, but they are not as bad as they used to be before I started meditating. And it's just a practice you do. And like, the thing is now, like, you don't have to force me to meditate. I do it because I genuinely want to. And I genuinely like the feeling of just pausing and putting my phone away and just taking a break and unplugging and just breathing it out for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Like, when you start to do that, you almost start to look at like TV screens and all these things we do and cell phones as like distractions. Like, you almost like don't want to look at them sometimes. Like, I still do. But sometimes I'm just like, why am I doing all this screen time? I kind of just want to sit still and just chill and just enjoy the human condition, the feeling of being alive. So my advice to you is just start doing meditations. My personal advice is, whatever emotion you're feeling that day for your meditation practice, just YouTube a video about it. Meditation for sadness, depression, frustration, anxiety. It really doesn't matter. And then after that, you can experiment with more. Try out the Wim Hof styles that I do. There's this YouTube channel called Breathe with Sandy. I love doing a lot of his meditations. They're very good. And he's like a guide too. So he'll guide you along the process. He does a little mix. And then eventually you might come up with your own style. So with me, I will do my meditation. And I've got this little mantra I tell myself, just positive things that affect me and things that I feel like I personally need to tell myself every day. And as you get more clarity on things in your life, start journaling. You will come across thoughts and mindsets that you just really resonate with, and that you're like, man, I need to tell myself this every day. And then just incorporate it as part of your own mantra. And then before you know it, you'll have this like checklist of things that you just force yourself to tell yourself every day. And it's transformative. It really is, because, it really helps you deal with life. Because if you don't make the conscious effort to address all the thoughts and the influences coming in and how they impact you, you'll just end up being a product of external influences. And I think the moment of like deepest self-growth a lot of us do experience is that moment we wake up and realize that all of our whole life situation, where we're at in life, our beliefs, values, habits, routines, a lot of it came from external sources. And then you have a choice to internally audit everything, your mindsets, your belief systems, your values, and see what serves you and what doesn't, and incorporate and adopt the things that do serve you. And that is what I find most fascinating and why I enjoy meditating, because I'm always trying to retrain myself. I'm actively engaged in the process of retraining my brain for the betterment and to become the man I want to be. And meditation is vital for that. Like, there's really no other way to do that kind of inner work and that kind of inner engineering and, updating and changing the software out and getting rid of old toxic belief systems and trying to incorporate better ones without doing the work. And the work never stops, and that's okay. It doesn't have to stop. But just the very fact that you do it is a win. And it's going to be hard at first, but guys, just do it. You will find a lot more peace, a lot more bliss. You will find a lot more productivity, happiness, moments of joy, and just clarity on everything. And who doesn't want that? So I hope this helps, guys. It's kind of like a beginner guide to meditation. I don't think there's much else to say. We'll take a nice breath and let it go. See that? I already feel better. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Bye.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way.